Hello, everyone. Grab a cup of tea and get comfortable. Today, we're diving into something so simple, but so powerful. Your daily routine.
Yes, the story of your day. It might sound boring at first, but actually it's one of the most common and useful topics in everyday English.
Exactly. When you can talk about your day, you can talk about your life. Because that's what life is, right? A series of days.
Nicely said. And what's interesting is that native speakers talk about daily routines all the time. Small talk at work, phone calls, even family dinners.
True. How was your day? Might be the most used question in the English-speaking world.
And somehow it always starts a story.
So today, we'll show you how to describe your day naturally without sounding like a robot reading a schedule.
Yes, because saying I wake up, I brush my teeth, I go to work sounds like a fridge manual.
Exactly. We'll make it sound human, flowing, and maybe a little fun.
Before we begin, if you enjoy these natural English conversations, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us keep creating for you.
Thank you. All right, let's start with something easy, talking about your morning. What's the first thing you say when describing your day?
Usually, I usually wake up around. That word, usually, is perfect for routines. It's your best friend for describing habits.
Yes, I usually wake up at 7, or I normally get up at 6:30. It sounds more natural than every day I wake up at.
Right. Usually, normally, sometimes, often. These frequency words make your sentences sound more like real life.
Let's give them a few examples. I usually wake up around 7. I often check my phone first thing. I sometimes skip breakfast if I'm late.
Perfect. And for mornings, we use the present simple tense because routines are habits. I brush my teeth, I take a shower, I make coffee.
And you can make it more interesting by adding little connectors like after that, then, before work, usually.
Right. For example, I wake up around 7. Then I make a cup of coffee. And after that, I check my emails. That's how native speakers actually talk.
It flows. And if you want to sound even more natural, add emotion or personal detail. Like, I need coffee to function. Or, I'm not a morning person.
I'm not a morning person. Classic. You can also say, it takes me a while to wake up.
Or, I can't start my day without coffee. Those are little phrases that show your personality.
Yes, that's what we call personal touches. They make your English sound real, not textbook-like.
Rushmate, what's your morning routine like?
Well, I usually wake up before my alarm, not because I'm disciplined, but because my cat jumps on my face.
The natural alarm clock.
Exactly. Then I make coffee, feed the cat, and go for a short walk. It helps me clear my head before work.
That's nice. Mine's similar, but I need at least 20 minutes of silence before I talk to anyone.
Noted. So early calls are dangerous.
Very. Learners can also talk about what they don't do, like I don't usually eat breakfast or I never check my phone in bed.
That's a good point. Using never, hardly ever, or don't usually adds variety and makes your story real.
Okay, let's do a little dialogue using those.
Sure.
I usually wake up at 7, but I don't usually have breakfast.
Really? I can't skip breakfast. I always need something small, at least a coffee or toast.
Yeah, I know. I sometimes grab something on the way to work.
Same here. I usually listen to a podcast while commuting.
Oh, nice. What kind of podcast?
Mostly educational, English ones with two funny teachers.
Oh, I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they sound familiar.
This kind of conversation shows how natural English feels when you mix habits with small details.
Yes, it's not just about what you do, it's about how you connect those ideas.
Exactly. And if you want to describe your routine clearly, imagine telling a friend, not writing a report.
That's a great mindset. For example, instead of I do exercises, say I go for a run or I stretch for 10 minutes.
Yes, use specific actions. They're easier to imagine and remember.
And don't forget pronunciation. We often connect words in speech. So, I get up sounds like I get up. I go out sounds like I go out.
That's a nice little rhythm tip.
Exactly. Routines have rhythm in life and in language.
Okay, we've covered mornings. Now let's move to the middle of the day. How do we talk about work or study routines?
Good idea. Let's start with the phrase, I usually start work at, or my classes start at.
And to talk about finishing, you can say, I finish work at 5 or I get off work around 6.
Get off work is a natural, informal phrase.
Right, and instead of I have lunch, you can say I grab lunch or I meet a friend for lunch. That sounds more conversational.
Or I eat out, which means you don't cook. You go to a cafe or a restaurant.
Yes, or I eat in if you stay at home.
I eat whatever I find in the fridge.
That's very relatable.
You can also describe your work habits with verbs like check, reply, meet, call. For example, I check emails in the morning, I reply to clients, I have meetings on Zoom.
And for students, I take notes, I do homework, I study with friends, I review lessons.
Perfect. And don't forget linking words. After lunch, I usually have a meeting, or before dinner, I go to the gym.
Those little words, before, after, then, later, make your story flow like real speech.
You know, one of my favorite things to hear from students is, I can finally describe my day without thinking. That's fluency.
Yes, when your daily routine feels automatic in English, that's when you start thinking in English.
Exactly. It's like building a mental movie of your day scene by scene.
Morning scene, work scene, evening scene. So, after work or study comes the evening, my favorite part of the day.
Same here, the moment when the world slows down a little bit.
Yes, and it's such a nice topic for learners because you can talk about food, hobbies, family, and relaxation.
Exactly. You can say, I usually get home around 6, or I come back from school around 4.
Or I take a short nap, I rest for a bit, or I relax on the sofa.
I scroll on my phone for way too long is also an honest one.
Yes, that's the real modern routine.
You can make it sound natural by using time phrases, like after work, in the evening, before bed.
For example, after work, I usually cook dinner and watch something on Netflix.
Perfect. Or in the evening, I like to read or play the guitar.
See, you don't need fancy grammar. Just add feelings. I love cooking dinner with my family. I enjoy quiet evenings. I hate doing the dishes.
That last one is universal.
True. Talking about likes and dislikes makes your English sound human and emotional.
And you can use adverbs of frequency here too. I always walk my dog after dinner. I sometimes go jogging. I rarely stay up late.
Yes, that helps your listener imagine your rhythm.
Also, if you want to describe how you feel, use adjectives like tired, relaxed, sleepy, lazy, or energized.
Right. After work, I feel tired, but after a walk, I feel great. Simple, but natural.
Let's talk about bedtime routines too. They're fun to describe.
Okay, you can say I go to bed around 11 or I usually fall asleep late.
Or I read before bed. I listen to music. I scroll through my phone until I fall asleep.
Again, honest English.
Honesty helps memory. By the way, one great trick for learners when describing your day, always connect actions with times, like at 7, around noon, in the evening.
Yes, that gives structure to your story. For example, at 7, I wake up. Around 8, I leave for work. In the evening, I cook dinner.
Exactly. And if you want to sound fluent, add some natural connectors, like first, then, after that, finally.
First, I make coffee, then I check my emails, and after that, I start working.
Exactly. It creates a rhythm, and rhythm is memory.
Speaking of rhythm, every culture's routine sounds different.
True. In England, people often eat dinner early, around 6 or 7.
That's early. In many European countries, dinner is closer to 8 or 9.
Yes, so when I lived abroad, people used to laugh and say, "Are you having dinner or lunch?"
I can imagine. And that's such a fun conversation topic. You can ask, what time do people usually have dinner in your country?
Great question for cultural exchange.
Exactly. And that's what we love, using English to connect cultures.
Yes, you don't just learn words, you learn lifestyles.
So true. And even small differences, like when people wake up or how long they work, say a lot about culture.
Absolutely. And they give you something to talk about beyond, "My day is the same every day."
Right. You can say, my routine changes on weekends, or during holidays, I sleep in.
That's a good one. Sleep in means to wake up later than usual.
Perfect phrasal verb for Sunday mornings.
Yes, I sleep in, then have a big breakfast.
You know, it's funny. Describing your daily routine also shows your values.
How so?
Well, if you say, I start my day with exercise, it tells me you value health. If you say, I read before bed, it tells me you value calm or learning.
True. Your daily routine is like a mirror of what matters to you.
That's why it's a beautiful exercise, both for language and for self-awareness.
Yes, you're practicing English and self-reflection at the same time.
I like that. Self-reflection in English. Sounds poetic.
We could call it the grammar of life.
That's deep.
I have my moments.
Let's help our listeners build their own daily routine paragraph.
Great idea.
Here's a structure you can use. 1. Start with when you wake up. I usually wake up at 2. Talk about your morning. Then 3. Mention your work or study. I start work at 4. At lunch or break. At noon, 5. Describe your evening. After work, 6. End with bedtime. I go to bed around.
Perfect. And add some emotion. One like, one dislike. I love walking my dog. I hate doing laundry.
Or, I enjoy cooking, but I don't like cleaning up after.
That's 99% of the human population.
Exactly.
Let's create one full example for our listeners.
Sure. I'll start. I usually wake up around 7. First, I make coffee and check my messages. After that, I take a quick shower and get ready for work. I start work around 9 and finish at 5. At lunch, I sometimes meet a friend or go for a short walk. In the evening, I cook dinner, watch a movie, or read a bit. I go to bed around 11.
Perfect example. Simple, but full of rhythm.
And you?
I wake up early, around 6:30. I go for a short walk with my cat. Yes, he follows me sometimes. Then I make breakfast and start working from home. I have lunch around 1. In the afternoon, I take a short break and listen to music. In the evening, I meet friends or read. I usually go to bed before midnight.
I love that, the image of a walking cat.
It's a strange but true routine.
I think your cat deserves its own episode.
Gringing, feline English lessons. Coming soon.
Stay tuned. You know, George, the more I teach this topic, the more I realize daily routines are like little love letters to our own lives.
That's beautifully said. We often rush through the day, but when you describe it in words,
You notice the small things that make it special.
Yes, like the smell of morning coffee, or the walk to the bus stop, or the sound of your favorite playlist. When you tell your day in English, you rediscover it.
Absolutely. And for learners, that's a double benefit. You practice vocabulary and also gratitude.
Yes, exactly. To slow down, even for a few minutes, and say, "This is my day," can make you feel peaceful.
And it's interesting, in different cultures, people focus on different parts of the day.
How do you mean?
Well, in some places, people value long breakfasts, family time in the morning. In others, evenings are sacred. That's when everyone gathers for dinner.
Right. And in many Asian cultures, routines are about discipline and balance. In Mediterranean countries, they're about enjoying life, the long lunches, the evening walks.
Yes, every culture's rhythm has its own music.
That's a beautiful metaphor.
And learning English helps you dance to a few more of those rhythms.
I love that.
So, to our listeners, when you describe your day, don't just list what you do. Share a feeling, a sound, a smell, a tiny story. That's where your English becomes alive.
And that's where people connect with you. Not because you said everything perfectly, but because you sounded real.
Exactly.
What about you? Tell us in the comments. What's your favorite part of the day? Morning, afternoon, or night? And why?
Yes, tell us about your day. In English, of course. It's great practice, and we love reading your stories.
All right, let's quickly go over a few expressions from today's episode so you can use them right away.
Sure. We had usually, hardly ever, sleep in, get off work, eat out, before, after, then, later, personal touches, to slow down, and specific actions.
Perfect. Try to use at least 3 of them when you talk about your routine today.
For example, I usually get up at 7, then I eat out for lunch, and I sleep in on weekends.
Nicely done.
Thank you. I practiced.
Wormvone. If you like this episode, subscribe, leave a like, and share it. It really helps our little studio grow.
And thank you for spending this time with us. It means a lot.
Thanks for being part of our little English journey. Keep learning, keep smiling.
Wherever you are, have a wonderful day.